I'll tell you, there goes the neighborhood. Got a bunch of men in here. You hear it all the time. Do what I say. I'm the man of the house. But what does that really mean? In charge of the remote? I mean, my audience is full of guys today because of a topic I'm real passionate about. It's the role of the man in the family. And my guests, they are all men with whom I'm going one-on-one while their wives are backstage. For me, a man is a lot of different things in the family, and we're going to talk about that as the day goes on. But with those privileges come huge, huge responsibilities. Valerie says her husband, David, provides her with everything except love and affection. Take a look.
I do love my wife, and I don't know how to impress upon her how much I care.
We don't talk, touch, and I have recently moved to another bedroom. It's just not the way it's supposed to be.
I never had a good role model. My dad was killed when I was very young. My mom had 6 children. She came from an abusive background and just did not know how to deal with the conflicts in her life. And so I believe she took them out on me. I can never tell my wife I love her because nobody ever said it to me. I never knew what love was because I feel like I never had it.
He expected me to understand it or hoped that I would be able to support or nurture in the areas that he lacked. I didn't know how to respond.
I took out on her all of the anger and the frustration locked inside of me. For 17 years, nothing's being resolved.
I feel the same way.
And then you'll go 2 weeks without talking to me. You know what? I can't take this anymore.
We could accomplish a lot together if we would just both stop fighting. David is a wonderful father. His children are his life. He's not able to be that way with me.
I can't be passionate or intimate. We've been separated twice.
We're just existing, we're not living. We will not last much longer if things don't change.
I'm afraid DrPhil is going to make me cry on national television. Oh, look at him. He can't even keep his marriage together. But you know what? If the result is a better marriage and a more fulfilling life, that's all I want.
This is important to you, right?
Yes.
Because your relationship, in your view, and I think your wife's, is on the rocks.
Yes.
You said that when it comes to being a father, you think you really get it.
Yes.
You know what's important there.
Yes.
But that when it comes to being a husband, you have no idea of what you're supposed to be doing.
Yes.
What is it that you think you're supposed to be doing?
I think I'm supposed to be keeping the marriage vows. I think I'm supposed to be being there for my wife. I think I'm supposed to be leading the direction of the family. Those are things I think I'm supposed to be doing.
How you doing?
Not too good.
Well, if you know what to do, why are you not doing it?
I don't feel like I could do it by myself. I feel like that we're not working together. And what I'm doing is I'm running my marriage like I run my business. I'm running my marriage like I raise my children. I'm the boss. I have good rules. I have good benefit programs. And so I think I should just be that way in my marriage. I understand.
We need to talk. This isn't about you two doing he said, she said, he said, she. This is about you. This is about your role as the man in the family. And I have very strong views about what that ought to be. And I'm just asking you, what if there is a formula for success? What if there is a formula that if you do this, just etched in stone, you do this, you would be absolutely successful? If you just did it with precision and you knew that it would absolutely work, would you do it?
Absolutely.
You never got taught that. Is that what you're saying?
I have no skills. I have no background. I have no model that I can follow for a good marriage. I wasn't raised in a good marriage. My parents fought constantly. They separated when I was young. My grandparents fought constantly, both sides. My brothers and sisters don't have great marriages.
Okay, so why would you know? Because we don't learn it in school, right? You didn't take a class on being a husband and a father and a man in a family. You didn't get it there. And if we don't know the address, I mean, we're like a missile without a guidance system. From a selfish standpoint, you want to do this because you miss a soft place to fall, don't you?
Yes.
I mean, how important is that to you?
I'm feeling lonely. I feel miserable. I feel that without having someone with me, my life is just not full. I'm successful in real estate, I'm successful with my children, and yet I'm still lonely.
Do you think it's weak to say that you have needs?
No.
Because it's not.
No, I don't think it's weak.
You do have those needs. You've said, I need to be touched, I need to be comforted, I need to be supported. You're saying, I need a soft place to fall. The parallels between you and I are pretty amazing, really. At 16, you're on your own. At 16, I was living on my own. You didn't come from a family where they taught you those things. I had an unbelievably loving mother, but I grew up with an alcoholic father. I mean, every Wednesday morning, my job was to go find the car because he'd be out and he wouldn't know where the car was. So we'd go find the car. And so I grew up street smart and dirt poor.
Right.
And that makes you tough, but it doesn't really give you the skills that you need. And everybody, when you're hiring somebody, they always say, I want somebody with experience. And you want experience because experience, you have good judgment. But you get experience from having bad judgment.
Decided to do it that way. I hire people without experience. I hire people that I can control, that I can train.
Yeah.
Because I've had to take care of myself.
Yeah. But nobody did that with you. We asked Valerie to share her side of this. Take a look at what she had to say.
He doesn't love me the way I want to be loved or I need to be loved. I wish David was more affectionate. Holding a hand when you're walking separate bedrooms, that was David's suggestion. I took it as, again, absolute personal rejection. I'm not going to sleep in a room with somebody who doesn't want me there. There's a lack of respect between the two of us. He has a degree in psychology and thinks he knows it all. He doesn't want to talk. There's such a lack of communication. My husband thinks because we are financially secure, that's all that's important. He works all the time. Money is not going to make things better. My greatest fear is that I'll live the rest of my life feeling as lonely as I do now. I don't know what holds us together.
All right, let's take a break. And when we come back, I want to talk very specifically about what that formula is and why this is about you and not about your relationship. We'll be right back. We're talking about the role of the man in marriages, in fatherhood, in life, in family. I'm here with David, and his wife Valerie is up in our green room, but I didn't want her here because this isn't a relationship show. This is about you, and you had nobody to teach you how to do these things. What is the main thing that's missing for you?
The main thing that's missing for me is being able to be affectionate, knowing to be affectionate. I mean, I know that I'm supposed to be, but I don't feel like I don't feel like I know how to be. I think I know how to be. I buy gifts at the holidays, but they're not the right gifts. I buy plants that you can put in the ground, but they're not flowers that you put in a vase. So I feel criticized. So again, I feel like I've tried to do things, but I don't seem to be doing the right thing.
And you say that what you're doing is waiting for your wife to start being nice so you can be nice back to her.
I feel like I have, my role is to do certain things, and my wife's role is to be affectionate, and I think she's supposed to be my teacher. She's supposed to teach me how to be affectionate. If she holds my hand, I'll learn to hold her hand.
All right, and she's kind of waiting for the same thing.
Right.
All right, well, I hate to burst your bubble here, but this just isn't about you. I mean, it isn't. If you're blessed in that way, then that's great. And I was. I mean, I wasn't real plugged in when I was first married. I was a workaholic, and I was out there racing around, and my wife took me by the hand, sometimes by the ear, and said, you know, you're not going to be a jerk. You're going to learn to be plugged in, and I'm so glad she did. She taught me that very, very patiently, and that's great if you can get it. But most people don't have that kind of blessing that I found in her. So I'm going to tell you that it is your job. Here's the deal. This isn't about Valerie and what she does or doesn't do. You have a job to do, and if you do it, two things are going to happen. Number one, you're going to be at peace with yourself. And number two, everything else is going to start falling in line for you. And your number one job is to be provider. That's your number one job. And you would say that that's the place that you get an A+, correct?
I would say that, yes.
All right, you get an A+. Tell me why.
Because I provide everything. I mean, I've never denied my wife anything financially.
Okay, well, what if I told you that there are like 5 or 6 different kinds of income? There's monetary income.
I know that one.
But there's psychological income, emotional income, spiritual income, security income, familial income. There's all different kinds of income. If you're going to be a provider, you have to provide in all of those ways. Now, under the monetary, you'd get an A+, right?
Yes.
All right, what would you get on emotional?
C-, D, D-, D-.
All right. D-, okay? All right, and how about spiritual in terms of just the atmosphere? I mean spiritual in terms of certainly your relationship with a higher power that I happen to call God, but also the whole tone, the texture of the home and relationship between you and your wife. What would you give yourself there?
Higher than a D-. B.
B.
C+.
Okay. Now y'all are sleeping in different bedrooms, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Is that part of that one?
What the hell would be a D? I'm going to have to grade your paper a little differently than that, David. You got her sleeping down the hall. Do you touch each other?
No.
Do you hold each other?
No.
Do you support and caress each other?
No.
Do you have a sexual life?
D-.
And you sleep in different bedrooms? Other than that, you're doing great. Okay. So it's about you saying, as a man, it is my job to provide these things for my family. It's my job to stand up and bring this into my home, bring this into my environment, bring it in with everything that I do. And when you started this marriage, how violent was your temper?
It was pretty violent.
All right, so you not only went the other way from being a soft place to fall, which you need, you went the other direction and were completely prickly and hostile and alienating, correct?
Yes.
All right, so what do you think would happen if all of a sudden you said, I'm not waiting for her to do anything. He's telling me my job is to sit down and say every morning, what can I do today to create income for my family emotionally, physically, spiritually, socially, in all of those ways? What can I do today to improve that? What do you think would happen to the environment in your home?
I think the environment would change dramatically. I think that my wife would probably open up more to me, that she would be more receptive to me.
And what would that feel like?
I think that would feel really great. I think it'd feel a lot greater than it feels now.
What would it mean to you if you knew not only that you got that, but if you knew you created that as a leader of your family?
I would give me a lot of peace.
Yeah.
A lot of security. I would give my money away because that really is what I want.
Yeah. And the good news is you don't have to give your money away. You just have to add to the different kinds of currency. Another job you have is to be a protector. Okay, now, what do you think of when I say protector?
I would think you mean keeping my family safe, not letting other people hurt them.
And that's true. You got to be willing to stand in the gap, right, guys? I mean, if somebody, I was born and raised in Texas, and as sexist as it may sound, my dad taught me early on, you don't ever let anybody mess with you women.
Right.
I had 3 sisters and a mother, and I don't care if it was Sasquatch that was over there jacking with my sister. My dad told me to pick up some difference and go over there and get Sasquatch's attention. That was just my job. And it means so much to your family members to know they've got somebody that'll stand in the gap. They'll step in the door and say, no, you will not do that. You also have to protect their self-esteem, their sense of security, their sense of belongingness and well-being. And the person that is most equipped to tear that down is you. You know why? Because you have access to them. They love you. They care what you think because they've invested so much in you. How you doing on protecting your wife's self-esteem?
You know, I'm here because I'm not doing a very good job of protecting her self-esteem or some of these other areas that you mentioned.
Yeah. And as a result, she recoils.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah. Now, I'm not saying if she was here, I wouldn't be taking her inventory pretty hard, but the truth is she ain't here by design, because you don't have to have your partner to start making huge differences in your relationship. You can make huge differences now in your relationship on that. We're going to talk some more after the break. We'll be right back. We're talking to David about the role of a man in the family, and his wife is in the green room watching, and I may talk with her in a few minutes, but right now I'm saying that this is about you and you. Now, that's good news and bad news, you understand?
Yes.
The bad news is you can't lay any of this off on your wife. You can't lay any of this off on your mother or father. You can't lay any of this off on your children, which I know you wouldn't do anyway. But the good news is that the only person you need access to change this is you. And what I'm saying is you have to broaden your definition of success as a man. There was a time in my life, in my marriage, that it was about me. Everything's about me. If I'm happy, why would anybody else be concerned? And what happened with that day is I was actually seeing a patient in my office giving advice. You know, I can't find my ass with both hands, and I'm in there giving advice. Sorry. You see, that's my wife back there hiding her face every time I say something like that. But really, that day, I was just listening to this woman talk about how they would get in the car and just ride silently and never speak to each other. How many times have you done that?
Quite frequently.
And how lonely she felt in that car with her husband. And in that moment, I said, you know what? I am not worth the powder to blow me to hell if my wife experiences that. And I decided to expand my definition of success as a man to include the fact that I want my wife to be able to stand in a room full of 1,000 women, look around and know that another woman in this room gets treated better than me behind closed doors. You guys hear, do y'all hear what I'm saying? I mean, does this make sense? Somebody tell me what you hear me saying. Raise your hand, I'll bring you a microphone. Stand up right here. All right, what do you hear me saying here?
One of the greatest gifts I got from my wife when I first got into the marriage I'm in now that's working is the best input I can give her is the receptiveness. And one of the greatest tools I learned was don't fix it, just listen.
Yeah.
And so it validates her feelings.
Yeah, you bet. Yeah, stand up. You can stand up. Great point.
I like to say in my own marriage that I've learned over the last 3.5 years to really serve my wife. And what I'm hearing from you is that you're not balanced. And you need to get that balance and ask your wife, honey, how am I doing? And she will definitely tell you.
You should focus on the broader picture rather than the smaller details in life.
You're waiting for Valerie to step up and do some things, right?
Yeah.
What wrong?
I hear that now.
Yeah, you hear that now. Because listen, what you're saying is it's just fair, right? Why should I do all the work? You know why you should do all the work? Because it's your job. Oh. It's your job. The next role that you have to embrace is that of being a leader. That of being a leader. Marriage isn't 50-50, it's 100-100. Okay? You don't worry about her. You don't worry about whether she's doing her part or not. Because I'll promise you, you get what you give. It's the principle of reciprocity. She can be over there pouting and backed up and shut down. She can be over there just being absolutely impossible. And you know what? If all of a sudden you decide, I am going to provide, I am going to protect, I am going to lead, and I am going to teach, and I am going to do it with a good and gentle spirit, then all of a sudden that kind of bitterness just doesn't fit anymore, does it?
I don't know.
You have to decide, I don't have to be a victim, and I don't have to wait for my wife to step up and fix things in my life. I'm a man. I'm going to be a provider, a protector, a leader, and a teacher, and I am going to set my environment the way I want it. I'm going to broaden my definitions to include these other things. I'm going to look myself in the mirror every morning and say, what can I do today to make my family a happier place? What can I do today to make sure my wife, my kids can walk into a room full of 1,000 people and not be wearing a social mask and have the peace in their heart of knowing nobody got a better deal than David? That's what's about being a man. And I'll promise you, if you will trust me and do that, everything you want to come to you will come to you. Can I talk to Valerie for a second, please? You've been listening to what I'm saying?
I have.
What do you think?
I think it makes perfect sense, and I'm ready. I want to say I'm ready to respond, like I'm waiting for him to start.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll be ready.
So what's your job when he does?
I don't even see it as a job. It would come so natural to be there and to be part of it.
What do you want your life to be like with David?
I want to be able to walk into a room of 1,000 people and say, I got the best one.
Do you love this man?
Yes, I do.
Are you committed to him?
Absolutely.
Will you support his efforts?
Absolutely.
And it is not going to be perfect. This is not a success-only journey. You know, if you teach a little baby to walk and it takes a few steps and falls down, you don't kick it and say, get up, you dumb baby.
No.
What you do is you dust it off, you pat it, and you say, we're going to do this again tomorrow, right?
Absolutely.
All right. We'll talk some more later. Okay. All right. Coming up, a man who says he completely understands his role as a husband and father. The problem is his fiancé says he lies through his teeth and manipulates sunup till sundown. We'll be right back. We're talking about how the role of the man in the family is evolving or devolving in today's society. Norman left 2 children and a 15-year marriage for the perfect fairy tale with Julie, but now their volatile relationship has him feeling like he's failed as a man. Take a look.
You lied to me. I caught you in a lie.
He lies constantly.
That's why I got upset.
And why do you think I lied to you? The truth hurts.
You say you're going to help me. That's just another empty promise.
That's what I'm about, empty promises.
Name one promise you've ever kept to me.
We fight a lot because he is very controlling.
She's unemployed. I pay all the bills. The cars are both in my name. The house is in my name. She carries credit cards that she's never made a payment on. We're definitely getting behind in what we need to pay.
You've told me for months and months that you would go and get a second job. You tried one day.
You don't understand that the job that I have now pays all the bills. The role for the man in the family should be provider. This bill for $140-something
And
is
until
your
you talk.
Comfort her. You were the one that orchestrated this contract, and it's all screwed up. Confident. I don't have time to help you. Partner.
You're supposed to be my partner in this, and if I need help, you should help me.
I've adequately provided for this family. Oh! I'm the only father figure her children have ever known.
He wants to play this role of father to my children, but only when it's convenient for him. If he's mad at me, he'll ignore my children. He's manipulative. When we argue, he puts me down.
I did ask you to do it. You were more
And now
worried
you're
about getting your nails done. Arguments are ugly in our house. They frequently turn violent as well. Both Julie and I fight for control in the relationship.
That's crap.
Fine, I
You don't
wanna
care.
argue
You don't
about it
care what I
anymore.
do.
I feel like living with him. I'm in a prison. He's a warden.
What have you done to pay for any bills?
You know I'm looking for a job. Don't go there.
Oh, I'm absolutely going to go there. The role of the man in this family is undefined.
Well, that's not a pretty picture, is it?
Certainly hasn't been lately.
How do you feel watching that on video where you kind of get some distance from it and seeing the dynamics?
It's pretty accurate. It's everyday life.
You want me to be real and straight up honest with you?
Absolutely.
Because I think you guys need a big wake-up call, but she's not here, again by design, because I'm talking about the role of the man in the family. You said, and I quote, "I have all the qualities Julie is looking for." And I had just made a list of the descriptors that I had pulled out of things she said and you verified. You lie. You have been violent with her physically. You have abandoned. You have threatened divorce. You belittle her. And you do it all in front of the children. Now, I found that inconsistent.
I say that the qualities are there, I just haven't learned how to tap them properly yet.
Well, what's holding you back?
Fear. Fear of being a failure. I'm already a failure.
This is all about you. The most important relationship you'll ever have in this world is the one you have with yourself. How you getting along with you?
I'm not.
I mean, what do you see when you look in the mirror every day? If you go and have one of these fights and you throw her to the ground and then you slam the bathroom door and you go in there and look in the mirror, what do you see?
I see a man who has a lot of growing up to do, who has a lot of maturing to do to get to be the man that I want to be.
Well, at this point, I guess the thing that I'm challenging you to do, I'm challenging all of us to do, is to say, you know, the past is over. The future hasn't happened yet. The only time is right now, today. And what you have to do is make some active choices now in this life, in this world. And I'm going to talk to you about how to do that when we come back. Up next, more with Norm to see if I can get him to want to join a club that would have him as a member. We'll be right back.
A successful husband provides love, care, respect, and trust.
That's crap.
There is zero respect or trust in our relationship. I don't know how to fix it either.
We're talking today about how men define the role of the man in the family, and specifically how Norman says he's not measuring up. You get the fact that where you are versus where you ought to be are two very different things, right?
Absolutely. I think that the biggest point that I got from your discussion with David is his wife and my fiancé are in the same boat. They are both looking for the man in their lives to be a man.
What is it you're doing that you need to not do and not doing that you need to start doing?
Well, I think that our relationship is based a lot on control, and I've always been about having total control, and I need to learn that marriage is a 100% commitment. I can't always have control. I have to relinquish some control in this relationship so that we can get along better.
Well, you know, I believe one of the biggest myths in life is this myth of control. Because I don't think we control much. I think we make choices, and if we make responsible choices, then we'll get responsible results most of the time. But the idea that, I mean, are you truly so arrogant as to believe that you can control Julie, that you can make her feel the way she feels, think the things that she thinks, do the things that she does?
Obviously not.
Well, I mean, based on results, how's that working for you?
Not very well.
Because I haven't met Julie, but I've met Robin, and there ain't nobody controls her but her.
Right.
What you can do is kind of inspire them to go in a direction if you're careful.
Right.
Okay? You know what I mean? You left your wife and those children to go with Julie, right?
Yes, sir.
So this is a relationship born of infidelity.
Yes.
Did you leave her for another woman?
Yes.
Okay, and did you leave the children behind when you did?
Yes.
Okay, that's not good.
I agree.
That's not good. And so do you feel guilty about that?
Every day of my life.
Okay, so that contaminates where you are now, right? Because you drag that guilt with you every single day. And and I read all of your notes about lying, and you say, well, I lie because I have to. Do you really believe that?
No, I believe I cause more conflict and more hatred after the fact by lying, by being truthful at the onset.
Let me speak to Julie for just a second. Julie, are you there?
I'm here.
You guys are getting violent with each other, correct?
That's correct.
And you're doing this in front of the children at times, correct?
At times, yes.
All right, let me tell you both, that's not okay. You don't have the right to do this, period. You sure don't have the right to do it in front of these children. And you, if you are going to be the things that we've talked about, if you are going to be the provider in all of the areas, not just monetary, the protector of self-esteem and sense of security and safety and well-being, if you are going to be the leader and lead the way towards change, and the teacher, where you by example begin to show different ways to do this, then you will make a life decision to change that right now. And if that means that you two aren't together anymore, then you need to not be together anymore. It's just that simple. If he raises his hand and hits you, that's a drop-dead deal breaker. If you want to end this relationship and you have a shred of dignity and concern for your children, if he hits you another time, you will be gone. Could I be more clear?
No.
Okay? You have to stop that, and you have to stop it right now. If you can stop it by yourself, then do it. If you can't, then get help. If you can't do it with help, then get out. Coming up, I'm going to talk some more to Norm and Dave and to other men in the audience about what it means and what it takes to climb this hill that I'm talking about, to truly be a real man in today's world. We'll be right back. They're talking about how to be a stand-up guy in a relationship. It's not just about providing material things. It's about providing in all the other ways that sometimes are so much harder: emotional, spiritual, behavioral, family, all of the different ways. You've got to broaden your definition of success as a man. The audience has things that they want to say. So stand up and we'll start with you. Go ahead.
I've heard you say it a couple of times already, and nothing has been more helpful to me than that one about, it says, when you choose the behavior, you choose the consequences. Because I tend to be rather emotional and get caught up with things and do things and let the chips fall where they may. But since I've heard you say that, and I'm saying it to myself now, and I don't think anything would help more in a relationship.
Women have a real long memory, okay? Get that. Women have a real long memory. And you can say things in like a second that can last forever. And you think, oh, that was stupid. But it's just hard to take back stupid. So I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah, Dr. Phil, after listening to the two gentlemen saying what they had to say, it seems as though that they were dealing with a fear factor, and which is being, they want to give what they are and who they are, but they're afraid of the response.
Both of you said that your number one fear was rejection, that it hurt to put yourself out there and then just get put down and rejected. The reason you're so afraid of being rejected is because you know you're so worthy of rejection. You know, that's the problem. You know that you should be. And if you walk into it with the confidence of knowing that your mind and heart are in the right place and that you're taking the high road, then you don't have that fear. And if you do get rejected, and you will, because this isn't a perfect world, then you'll know. You don't do this for a week. You don't do this for a month. You do it until. You do it until. You just keep on going. Chris is with us, and he says he withholds support to his wife because she withholds sex, and it's become a vicious cycle, right?
That's correct. We can have a great day. Like yesterday, we had a wonderful day. And if we have a great day, she's not complaining, she's smiling. There's been no sexual stuff because, you know, making love to your wife starts in the morning is what I'm told. So therefore, I start in the morning by being nice to her and trying to, you know, come on.
I got you.
So for me, I try to lay everything out the way it's supposed to go, and then at the end of the night, I'm like, here we go, my turn.
Okay.
But she says, no, and then that really makes me mad, so I withdraw, and I become bitter, and I say, well, if you're gonna do that, then what's the heck of trying to make love to you starting in the morning? I'm just being real. I'm being honest.
Yeah,
I'm being
I
serious.
understand. And see, that's the logic of a man. Okay? It's like, okay, I checked these 3 squares off.
Right.
Now, you come over here and check your one square.
One square, exactly.
That's what you're saying. Well, it may just be that psychological skin has been burned, and maybe it takes a little more than a day of you being horny. Okay? But we'll talk about it now. All right, Dwayne says his desire for some alone time at the gym is seen by his wife as completely selfish. Now, you resent that she doesn't like you going to the gym to work out occasionally, right?
Yeah, most definitely, yeah.
Yeah, and occasionally for you is 4 to 5 times a week for 2 hours a day.
Yeah.
Okay, and I'm not even saying that there's anything wrong with that. I don't think it's so much that you're spending a couple hours at the gym as to what you're doing or not doing when you're with her rather than being at the gym. If her needs are being met, really met, I mean, if you've tuned in and said, that's my job, he said, provider, not just money, provider, and I need to figure out what her needs are, and I need to step up and be a provider. If those needs are being met, she's not going to be nearly as sensitive of whether you're down at the gym. Because these women also need to understand that they have to recognize change and give an old boy a second chance.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
I mean, seriously. Do you have a story or a question for me? Click the link in the description and tell me what in the world is going on.